Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed, what will Baron be buzzkilling this week? What has Dizzy wanting to go off the top rope? Did Max pour his heart and soul into a From the Desk of Max Magius? And will he really mention Owen Hart? All of this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed.
The following program contains coarse language, a lot like real life. Viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
Yeah, starting now. Welcome to your Tuesday night delight, not only live here on youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed, but also on twitch.tv at Ramblers Unleashed. And we are also live on our X account at the Ramblers Pod. So welcome in, and let's talk some wrestling because we have a lot to talk about since we took a week off. Let's go ahead and introduce the guys here. First off, the man that is higher than a 747 jet airliner, our resident happy guy whose catchphrase is and will always be Baron, please.
420.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, golfers clap for the one, the only Baron. We have your Buzzkill moment later on, which I'm afraid that your old catchphrase is going to come back into play here with the
boy
we talk about. Yeah, I know.
I can't wait to bring that back out.
I'm excited for it. Nobody says it better than the Baron.
Nobody says it better than the Baron. I kind of want him to say it now, but we'll wait until we get to.
Let's get to the segment.
Yeah, we'll wait until we get to the Buzzkill moment. Baron, how are you, bud?
Dude, I'm good, man. It's been a week.
Yeah.
Already for work, so it's I'm ready for the week to be over. But man, we got a lot of shit to talk about, so it's great. I mean, we missed a week, so there's even more to talk about, right?
Yeah, absolutely, there is. Yeah. Because we have a whole mess of shit to talk about, man. Last up, it's the neighborhood heel, a man with more wrestling knowledge in his pinky finger than Tony Khan could ever muster up with his toy figures, and the only guy that I know that pops bigger for Joel Gertner than any one of us. You can address him as Mr. Magius, but we call him the mighty Maximus Magius. We will go from the desk of Max Magius soon, but Max, how are you, sir?
I'm great. And I want to point something out real quick. You see this nose? It does not sniff the candy, Tony Khan. Learn from it.
No, it does not. I can attest to that. I
have to take issue with something you said, though.
Me?
Yeah, you're like, and lastly, no. There's no lastly until the final introduction.
Oh, well,
right.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
But first, I have to introduce the other Rambler.
You do have to introduce the other Rambler. Absolutely.
And
you,
listen, let me let you guys in on a secret. Don't tell the Baron and Dizzy this, but I love you guys more. Ladies and gentlemen, the other Rambler, those of you who come in and listen to our show and make us feel great. We love you guys. Without you, we'd be sitting here talking to ourselves on camera. And let me be honest with you. I don't really think these guys really want to keep looking at my mug on the camera if we didn't have a reason for it. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Thank you.
Golfers clap for you. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much.
And now,
oh God,
we can use the word lastly.
Oh God.
But it's last but not least, a man who needs no introduction, but definitely deserves it. This is the man that puts all the stories together. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have stories week in and week out. We'd just be making it up as we go along. I'll let you know a little secret. Sometimes we just make it up as we go along. The name is Ramblers, after all. But ladies and gentlemen, the man with the golden voice, my best friend, give it up for Dizzy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You get better with these intros every week, man.
I always think of something entertaining to throw in when I do the intros.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the name. So if we go back to when we started this show, We had zero platform. We had no idea what the fuck we were doing. We were reviewing, folks in the chat, ECW shows. That's how much we had no fucking clue what we were doing in the podcast world. And that's where the Rambler name just came from and went with, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
it was actually a creation for from the Bubba. Bubba and I put our heads together, and he said, because I had another name for the show, and I don't even remember what it was called, honestly. But he said, how about we just call it Rambling About Wrestling? I said, dude, do you know how generic that sounds? Can we just think of a cool name? And then it just kind of, I don't know, and it just kind of stuck because it was Raw, and we're talking about Monday Night Raw. So I'm like, sure, whatever. And then the name changed down the road. We came to Ramblers Unleashed because we're Ramblers, and we broke away from the Rambling About Wrestling name. So,
and now instead of being Raw, we're RU.
Are you serious? Absolutely.
I am serious.
I am serious.
Don't question my authority.
Authority.
And listen, guys, I Baron brought up the ECW reviews.
Oh God,
that's on him for triggering this. I guarantee you that if we started doing ECW reviews again, I know at least one person that would listen to every single one of them because he thinks I'm the GOAT, and he's not wrong. I am the GOAT. Sean would listen to our ECW reviews.
He would. He totally would. Is that going to happen, though? No.
Well, you know what? You and Sean can get together, find some old ECW shows, and review them, because I am not sitting through that torture again.
I don't think I can either, honestly.
Listen,
the only thing that was enjoyable about watching ECW was the fact that Joel Gertner was on it. That's the only thing that was.
Well, the problem was it was great when we watched it when we were younger-ish, right? But going back and reviewing and seeing, it's just like if anybody has in the chat has went back and watched old tapes of Raw, we're talking like 90s Raw, it's the worst fucking thing on earth. Like, I love the Attitude more than anyone. I've watched wrestling since the early 90s, but it is the worst fucking, like, the production is just awful, right? Like, it's terrible. Just go back and watch an old episode of Raw or even a pay-per-view during the Attitude era.
No, I think they were produced just fine, man.
Do you want to know why the ECW reviews became such a big deal for me? Why I still harp on them when I have the chance?
Why?
Because we are complimented by an ECW original. He said we may be getting some things wrong, but we were very entertaining in our reviews of ECW. And let me tell you what, that meant the world to me.
Mm-hmm. Who was that complimented us?
Was that Balls?
I believe
it was Axel, right?
Oh, Axel.
Might have been Axel Mahoney. Yeah.
No, Balls would be Balls Mahoney.
No,
Axel
Rotten.
Jesus Christ, I got that.
Yes, Axel Rotten.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
yeah, it was great. I mean, of course, we get things wrong a lot, but that's the whole fun of this, and we speak our mind about anything and everything, and it's great. But,
and we always admit when you guys are wrong, but I'm never wrong, so we haven't had to admit I'm wrong.
Well, I won't say we can change that, but yeah, Sean, 1995 Raws with all the gimmicks.
Great gimmicks, funny gimmicks, but like they were, it was terrible. Just go back and watch an episode when you have the chance. Because I recently did, with just doing shit in the living room, and I turned it on and I sat down and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Very cheesy.
I mean, there were some that were just really, really cheesy, but that's a whole other discussion. We got so much to talk about tonight, guys. We have Karrion Kross. We have to talk about.
We have Karrion Kross. Oh, you said
no. We don't have him as a guest. I wish. Look, I will be honest. I did reach out to Karrion Kross. I don't know if he's even read the email or if his wife, Scarlett, has read the email. But just to let you know, I did reach out to Karrion Kross so that we could try to get his side of the story. I don't know what's going to happen. If Karrion, if you ever see this, email me back, bud. You got my email.
He doesn't even have to tell us his side of the story if he doesn't want to. I
No,
would
you
just
don't
love to
have-
have a sit down talk with the guy
Yeah.
because, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about Karrion. I mean, news broke of Karrion Kross's departure from WWE on the 10th. And that's when his contract was officially up. He didn't waste any time letting his fans know his next move after his contract expired at midnight on the 10th, just after being shifted to the alumni section on WWE.com and having his entrance theme Dead Silent pulled from streaming platforms. Kross confirmed he's officially open for business. He took to Twitter, now known as X. Kross sent a short message that instantly set the wrestling world talking, and the post comes on the heels of him promoting his YouTube premiere titled "My WWE Contract Ends Today," where he thanked fans directly for their support. The reaction online, it's been instant and it's been loud too, man. Twitter instantly, it was trending, hashtag We Want Kross. It quickly shot up to the number 3 spot on the sports trending list with over 16,000 posts. We were one of those posts, and actually a few of those posts, while Facebook and Instagram were split between those who think he's truly gone and others who are convinced this is all just a storyline twist. But WWE sources maintain their departure is real, but with Kross now actively accepting bookings, it's clear that he is going to move forward, whether that's on the independent circuit or another major promotion or even in the surprise WWE return down the line. But it really did not take long for the internet to start speculating after he addressed that his contract officially expired. Within hours of that post, again, he shot up to the number 3 spot on Twitter's sports trending list, over 16,000, most of them from fans calling for him to remain in WWE. Meanwhile, again, on Facebook and Instagram, they were kind of split, which I don't understand, but I mean, to each their own. Why X was like, yeah, we need to bring Kross back, but Facebook and Instagram were like, yeah, I don't know. So that is the question of the day. Do you think that the WWE will bring back Karrion Kross, or do you think he will come back? I'm going to start with Baron here. Eyebrows.
My eyes are very dry for obvious reason, folks.
Very red for obvious reasons.
Very low. No, man. I don't think they're going to bring him back. I don't think. I think he did what he could. I think it's time for him to branch out and go to new ventures. I don't want to hear the AEW thing. I don't want to see him over there. Don't want it to happen. I think there's a perfect spot for him with TNA. Like, I think that is the ideal spot for him and Scarlett. I think they can run Rampage over there. That is the setting he needs to be in. Help build that character back up a little bit, I think. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think this is a R-Truth moment, right? If we watched Monday Night Raw, did we hear any chants of Killer Kross?
No, we did not. And matter of fact, there was a sign, We Want Kross sign, that was confiscated from Monday Night Raw.
I have the answer for that, though.
Yeah. Let's go to you, Max.
If you remember the Hart Foundation, right? Anytime they were in the U.S. in the ring, they were getting booed. They go to Montreal or anywhere in Canada, they get cheered, right? They were in Montreal, which is the home of Sami Zayn, who recently had a major feud with Karrion Kross. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Mir's right. It's Killer Kross.
Killer Kross.
Where he had a major feud with Killer Kross. So, of course, the fans who are over the moon for Sami probably just kept their mouths shut about Kross. But it's there. The want for him to come back is there.
Totally. There's a want for him. I mean, you saw that on social media with the hashtag We Want Kross. It sucks to me, and to me, this feels like, and I want to know, chat, what do you think? Do you think that Karrion Kross is going to come back to the WWE? Here's my take on this, and I've had some time to reflect on it. You know, when Vince finally left the company and Triple H said, you know what, hey, guess what? We're going to start listening to the fans. It really felt like he was listening to us. And then the TKO merger was deeper, and TKO really kind of just stepped in and took over the whole show. And now we're at the point where we lost a favorite. We lost a fan favorite because Kross was over. Killer Kross was absolutely over. And now he's gone. And are they really listening to us? The compensation of the sign at Monday night proves to me that they really don't give a shit about us anymore. It's kind of like a Vince McMahon thing, you know. And now it's like, okay, where did you just get us long enough for us to switch over to your platforms, for us to follow you from the network to Peacock? And now you want us to follow from Peacock to ESPN Plus and pay $30 a month and then $25 for Netflix or however much it is on Netflix. Is this why you pulled the wool over our eyes and said everything's going to be fine, just trust us, and then all of a sudden you just rip it out from underneath? That's what it feels like to me. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like.
A multi-billion-dollar industry corporate business in the United States? No, they wouldn't do that. That's not how things work here. Absolutely, man. Like, this is what always transpires. I mean, there's so much more going on with TKO, from UFC, Dana White, and TKO, their Paramount. There's a lot of shit going on over there too. So they're making a lot of segue here, a lot of bad things happening. But like, just on the Killer Kross standpoint, yeah, Sean, 100%. There's nowhere else that he needs to go than TNA, and there could always be a Kross from TNA, NXT, or whatever the case may be with him again, as long as he didn't leave in bad terms. I feel like he might have left in bad terms, in a sense. I know I've read articles about how the producers and people backstage were not happy about that shoot he did a while back.
It wasn't a shoot. No, it was actually cleared by WWE officials.
I don't know. I've read multiple articles saying it was not, but nonetheless, I think people in the back were not happy regarding that as well.
But then again, how many people are actually in tune to what's going on with creative? Because we've been kept in the dark. I mean, fans are kept in the dark. Wrestlers have been kept in the dark of everything that Triple H is doing. They were kept in the dark when Brock Lesnar came back. So
they're being kept in the dark on what's going on with Naomi, which
absolutely
we'll get to later.
We're going to get to that here in just a few moments. But they're keeping everybody in the dark about every little step because they're so worried about the dirt sheets. And they're so worried about everything getting leaked because that's what used to happen when Vince McMahon was in power.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good thing though, right? Like that's what we want.
But that fucks up the whole creative, and then that fucks up.
No.
You know?
No, hold on. You guys are saying the same thing. They're keeping everybody in the dark. Baron's saying that's what we want. Is we want everyone in the dark. We want to be surprised.
Yeah.
A few years ago, Goldberg made a surprise return here in Denver. Only nobody was surprised because the dirt sheets announced it.
Yeah. And that's been the enemy for the dirt. That's been the enemy for wrestling. That's been the dirt sheets have been the enemy for creative when it comes to professional wrestling. And I know that they're trying to get ahead of everybody. I know that they're trying to. I don't know. Sean's right. It really feels like they don't give a shit. And I heard the rumor why they brought Brock Lesnar in is because they're really trying to attack AEW. They're going head to head. They're starting to compete with AEW.
And starting to compete. I mean,
what I heard was that it was Cena that requested it.
Yeah, Cena requested Brock Lesnar to come, but the reason they brought him in is because they wanted to take a hit to AEW, and if they book him on a show and because they're starting to book shows around the times that AEW is having their pay-per-views. They'll show up in the same fucking city.
Yeah, but is it competition to him in reality? Like, it's another brand at this point in juncture. I don't see them losing revenue. A competition is when you lose revenue in the corporate or business standpoint. Okay, if you're losing revenue against a competitor, that's when there's competition. If you're not losing revenue, that's not competition. Okay, like that's just how corporate world works. Like nobody views that way, and I don't think they're losing revenue based off of AEW in any sense. I truly believe this is just, like with Brock Lesnar and celebrities coming in. We complain about this in the past about WWE, about how they bring all these celebrity people in or bring these people back, and it takes away from the true talent in the ring, right? Tell me why Penta was not part of SummerSlam, and why was Brock Lesnar part of SummerSlam?
Yeah.
This is all social media engagement. This is all publicity. It has nothing to do with just like, I don't see ratings going skyrocketing because Brock Lesnar came back. It's just not gonna. You're not gonna see the needle move that much. No more than when John Cena come back. I guarantee you, if you look at numbers when John Cena's around, they're higher than anytime Brock Lesnar's around. And if I'm wrong, I'll give you guys a sack of green. But like, this is all just like there's so much shit going on in the back, and like it's so much about social media engagement right now, right? That's why you see celebrities coming in left and right, from Jelly Roll, a return from Brock Lesnar with everything that's going on with him. Like, we're in a weird state with WWE where they're just doing whatever they want because they can, right? Like, they just made a shit ton of money with all these deals they're doing with the streaming world. So, like, they can do these things, and they have more money than ever with TKO around. So, yeah.
And yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And back when Brock was champion, I complained a lot about the fact that there's a meme of the title on a milk carton missing. Have you seen me? Because of how part-time he was back when he was champion. I don't care. I don't want Brock back. I will get into the fact that I want Killer Kross in a minute, but Brock's unimportant to me. I sure Cena wanted him for a feud before he goes. I get that. Cool. I'm all about Cena being happy in his final run. But I don't care about Brock. I never have.
I think Brock is more important to the story of Cena's story than he is to us. Because they've had a feud. But then again, there's all sorts of different people that Cena had a feud with that would be better suited than Brock Lesnar.
Like the Authority.
But they're not going to bring the Authority back. So
well, they can't, because technically the only one of the Authority that Cena could wrestle, he can't wrestle because now that person has a heart condition and he's the boss.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but the ultimate goal of in retirement is putting over young talent, right?
It is, and that's why I think that's why they're sunsetting Cena, and that's why they brought in Brock Lesnar. But then again, it's also to hurt the rival company. That's what it's all about. It's all about trying to hurt AEW, because I think they're really trying to send a message that we are the only promotion. We're the juggernaut of this industry. You're not. And if you want to run against us, we will show you in our power that we will beat you. That's what it's all about. This is flaunting their feathers. It's flaunting money. It's what they're doing.
I want to comment on a couple things that Sean said over here. What what got chanted was "We want Kross," and Triple H turned around, addressed the audience, said, "You've got him. You want Brock, you've got him." So it wasn't, in that case, it wasn't that Triple H ignored what they said and said, "I gave you Brock." He did say, "You've got Kross," which makes me feel like there's more to this story. Makes me feel like either things aren't over for Kross with WWE or something happened after SummerSlam.
What?
The other thing I want to point out is Kross himself did an interview. It's part of a video that's up on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's about an hour long. I've been working on getting through it. I'm a little over halfway, but I had to work today, so I haven't been able to finish it. I'm going to do that after the show tonight. But during that interview, he stated that they told him not to acknowledge the chants. And I'm not defending what they did, because even when I was in a ring and the fans were chanting things at me, usually it was related to the word "shut up," because, you know, I'm the bad guy. I responded. I was like, "No, I'm not going to shut up. I got a microphone. You don't. I'm going to talk." But sometimes they tell the heel, "Don't acknowledge," for reasons. And I'm not defending it. I think he should be allowed to react. I was just a manager and a commissioner and stuff like that. I wasn't a full-time wrestler. I did wrestle a few matches, but I wasn't actually a full-time wrestler. So as a heel, you should be allowed to acknowledge when the fans chant your name in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That Ariel Helwani interview, if that happens with Killer Kross, that's going to be interesting to watch. Definitely going to have to be on the lookout for that. But even the locker room is a little skeptical about all of this. Uncle Dave, while speaking on Wrestling Observer, explained that the situation is being kept unusually quiet, which has led to growing suspicion that it could be a storyline. He also said that WWE continued to showcase Kross on television and even plugged his new book, which I did see. Despite his contract situation supposedly being unresolved, that type of exposure is unusual if the company truly is expected for him to walk away. But Max, let's go to the desk of Max Magius, thanks to ringsidenews.com. And Karrion Kross's exit from WWE has been the talk of the town. They even confiscated, we mentioned this earlier, "We Want Kross" sign from yesterday's episode of Raw in Canada. But regardless, this has just been some really compelling storytelling, Max.
Real quick, before I start this, I just want to answer your question from before, the question of the day. And to answer that, I'm going to do a little bit of performance art. One of the most organic, over crowd movements in the history of pro wrestling. Do I think Killer Kross is going to return to WWE someday? Yes. 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 All right. Anyway,
can I just say before you move on? I have to say this, Sean. Absolutely, I believe in Max Magius. Bam, bam. Okay, you may continue. I just had to say that. It compelled me. Oh, he's gonna do it. I believe in Max Magius.
All right. Before I start this, I do want to tell you guys, I actually put some time into this one. Sometimes for the desk of Max Magius, I go off the hip. I have written a couple of these up, but this one, I actually put some real effort into. So bear with me.
Okay, let's go.
Karrion Kross. No. Killer Kross. This guy did something that is hard for wrestlers to do for me. He got over with me organically. He wasn't in compelling storylines. In fact, when he first made his way to the main roster, I had a hard time carrying because of the gimmick they put him in. The Final Testament? I love Paul Ellering, and the authors of Pain are great. He just didn't feel like the right fit for Kross and Scarlett. His work shoot was beautiful. That was when I really started to warm up to him. Sure, his interactions with AJ were fun, but it wasn't until the work shoot that things really started to connect for me. Week after week, I have felt a bigger and bigger connection growing with him. But let's step away from him for a minute and talk about a couple other wrestlers. Matt Cardona. When Matt broke away from being an edgehead, I felt no connection at first. They hardly used him. When they did, it felt restrained. Don't even get me started on the Zack Ryder gear. His music was the most compelling thing about him. For the record, I love O Radio. That's not just something I'm saying. Even the audience wasn't buying it. Then something interesting happened. He started putting out videos on YouTube as the Long Island Iced Z. He got himself over both with the general audience and with me. Shinsuke Nakamura. When he first got signed, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to see Shinsuke in the WWE ring. I already knew how talented, charismatic he was, even if he didn't have a grasp on English yet. Then, WWE underutilized him. Made me stop caring about him. I still think he's talented. I'm just no longer excited. And that's not Shinsuke's fault. That's on the booking team. Someone wise once told me the sign of a good match is how well the people in the ring tell the story. If you can mute commentary and still understand what is happening, the wrestlers and the ref, if I'm being honest, have done a damn good job of telling the story. My all-time favorite match is brother versus brother at WrestleMania 10. Brett and Owen told an epic story in that match. No commentary needed. For me, without compelling stories, which need amazing characters, you have not fulfilled your obligation to the fans. Not every match has to tell a story, but the best matches tell a great story. Kross is one of those characters that makes the story come to life. I will remain hopeful that the departures of Kross and Scarlett are either a work or something gets worked out to bring them back. Pro wrestling needs strong characters. Even if we've moved away from the era of the over-the-top gimmicks of the 80s, characters are still what makes this fun. Kross and Scarlett are two of the most compelling characters I have had the pleasure of watching in recent years. If this is the end or the end for now, thank you both. You are what wrestling is all about. I wish I had seen it sooner, but know that I see it now.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. That's true. It's all true. And the names that you'd mentioned, it's exactly what is going on. I don't know why they decide to bring in these big names or these names that are just so compelling, so good at what they do, and then they just make them, I don't know, a jobber. I wouldn't even say a jobber. I don't even know how to put it. They just make him so nah anymore. And that's what I feel like they did to AJ Styles. It's just sad. And I hope that Killer Kross comes back. I hope they sign him a new contract because the dude deserves it. Dude absolutely deserves it. And they need to come back, especially with the money that they're going to get from ESPN. Let's move on to that. Another massive story is the WWE. They signed a $1.625 billion deal with ESPN to move all of its premium live events to this new ESPN direct-to-consumer streaming service starting in 2026. And this led to questions about ESPN getting access to the WWE's library. And now it appears ESPN is actually interested in acquiring the rights to WWE's library as well. So speaking on the Ringers Press Box podcast, ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro said ESPN would be interested in bidding when the rights become available. He added that ESPN will already have archival rights for the events it airs under its new agreement with WWE, but it would also like to access the full library. Pitaro described the agreement between WWE and ESPN as a strategic move to help fill gaps in ESPN sports calendar and reduce subscriber cancellations. He also mentioned that WWE is expected to be flexible with scheduling to fit ESPN's programming needs. The new agreement will end WWE's partnership with Peacock, which has streamed premium live events since 2021, but starting in 2026, these events will be available only on ESPN's upcoming streaming service. and WWE believes the move will help them reach a wider audience and improve the viewing experience through ESPN's technology and coverage. If ESPN acquires WWE's full library, fans could have access to decades of iconic matches, storylines, historic moments, and all in one place. And it could change how WWE's history is enjoyed and preserved, making it easier for future generations to explore the company's past. Therefore, we'll have to see if ESPN ends up getting the full library eventually. But, and Mira, I know you want to talk about Naomi. We're going to talk about her in just a few moments. But let's go to the Baron's Buzzkill before we get to Naomi. And we just mentioned that the Peacock contract for PLE expires March 2026, Baron. And SmackDown apparently will remain on the USA Network and on Peacock as well. But according to Russell Feed, they say that Wrestling Observer said the Peacock apparently tried to keep their current standings by offering $275 million a year. ESPN beat that offer with $325 million a year deal. It's a 5-figure deal that's worth, again, $1.625 billion, somewhere around there. Now, no details of NBC Universal's offer have been made public, meaning it's unclear if it was meant to cover the full current package, but if it did include not only the main roster PLE events, but also it would include NXT's PLEs, the WWE library, 5 documentaries, and 250 hours of original programming, possibly some of the stuff from the network too that we miss, like Legends House. But the new ESPN deals only covers the main roster PLEs. WWE explored a separate deal to make WrestleMania a standalone package, but nothing came of those talks. So, Baron, with the rise of everything, let's break down the cost here. ESPN Plus costs $29.99. It can also be bundled with Disney Plus and Hulu for $16.99 per month. Now, Netflix varies from $7.99 to $24.99 for premium, which all plans will include WWE. You can watch live and on demand. But to watch the remaining PLEs on Peacock, it's $10.99. The WWE network was, Baron, please.
$9.99.
Yep. So with the price of tickets to attend a show, plus the numbers we just ran over, how does it save us any money, man?
That is unfair.
I know. So unfair.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, like, I think we've kind of already determined that the company is not really worried about that. They think that the viewers will go over there. We already seen Courtney in the chat.
Yeah.
She was not willing to pay for that. And I think you're going to have thousands of people. Here's what you do when you switch up networks all the fucking time. TNA fans, sorry, I hate to bring this to you, but look what TNA did with the amount of times they changed it, right? I can't keep up with where the fuck they're at. I lose focus of where I'm watching the show. And it makes it harder for me to navigate. I want to, it's just like Raw Smackdown on USA every Monday and fucking Friday. I know where to go, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
It makes it more complicated for the casual fan to find this product. And people are not just going to go out there. Now, let's be real here. I will say the vast majority of wrestling fans probably already has the ESPN or the Peacock or the Paramount before WWE ever moved over.
Well, yeah, because ESPN is going to be more than just WWE. It's going to be what, NFL, MLB, all the sports. But what if you're not into baseball? What if you're not into football? What if you're not into all the other sports and you just want to watch professional wrestling? That's $30 a month that you don't want to spend for just one product, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, but it's not shocking. Like, this is where they're going with this. This is not WWE anymore. We have to get over that fact, right? We had someone that we don't like to mention too often that was a real life promoter of wrestling, right? This is no longer a wrestling promotion. This is a TKO. This is entertainment value, like to the next level. So anything that UFC's doing, they're going to do with WWE because they think they can, right? Two separate entities, but like this is the same mindset of how things happen. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, like we're still it's not happening until 2026, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right. 2026.
So much could change. So many things can happen. Is it ridiculous? The price tag? Absolutely. Do I already have ESPN? Yes. But I mean, I have it in a package deal with Hulu. Like I have every damn streaming thing, and it's a problem. The biggest thing here is, and I've read, and I don't know if they're like Peacock and Paramount are merging or someone has bought those, right?
Yeah, so Peacock and Paramount, they're merging. UFC is planning to move their pay-per-views to Paramount Plus, and I don't know who specifically. Well, I don't know who specifically bought Paramount Plus or how they're merging, but it's been in talks that they're merging. I just don't know when.
I've seen an article just earlier today, and Paramount and Dana White was mentioned in this. I don't know if there's anything.
It was Skydance Media.
Skydance Media, yes. Skydance Media, I believe, bought Paramount or Paramount Plus because they were they were in financial issues, and go ahead.
They bought Paramount Global.
Yeah.
Which includes Paramount Pictures, CBS, Paramount Plus, and other assets.
Right. So now,
so that's how UFC got it, because UFC landed a $7.7 billion streaming deal with Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shocking to me that just 10 years ago we were paying $9.99 for and every fucking wrestling fan at the time was bitching about the WWE network. We had everything we wanted from every catalog you can imagine in PLEs, and we complained about it as wrestling fans. It did all the time. We've seen it on social media, and now here we are. It's just we're never going to get that old material back. Peacock is one of the worst fucking streaming devices I've ever dealt with to try to find anything I want to find wrestling related, right? Half the shows you want to see aren't even on there. And when they are, they're so unorganized, it's hard to watch. So I don't know.
SmackDown's
it's not
30 days behind.
And yeah, exactly. There's so much going on with that. So hopefully ESPN gets a little bit more dialed in. I would think they would, just because that's a big premier network. And for $30, they fucking better, because we're getting back to the old school days of the price tag for a PLE every Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
$49, $59 back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're getting back up there. That's how fucking crazy this is. And it's going to get to a point where it financially could hurt WWE.
We are at the price tag of what a WrestleMania would have cost back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Because if I can remember correctly, WrestleManias were, I mean, they had the regular the pay-per-views or whatever, and they were always $49.99, $59.99. But WrestleManias were always a little more expensive because that's the biggest show. They were like $69.99 a month, or like $69.99 for one pay-per-view. So I don't know. I feel like they would, if they did what AEW is doing, would it make any difference if they were on a pay-by-pay basis where, hey, we got this pay-per-view coming up, it's $49.99. Hey, we got this pay-per-view coming up next month, it's $59.99. What do you think people would buy it, or do you think people want to keep paying ESPN Plus $30 a month, which is fucking dumb, a dumb price to pay? But then again, look at all the content they're going to get, and it's not just wrestling. But then again, it's like there's so many questions with this, man.
There's two things I want to point out real quick. First off, The one thing that article didn't mention that was announced, if you have a cable service of some sort or some kind of deal that already includes ESPN, you're not paying $30. It's going to be included. If you have cable or dish or something like that, we don't. So, but if you have cable or dish or something like that, you're going to be able to log into the new ESPN app with that login info, and it's included as part of your already established cable bill, which, by the way, is way up there. So you might want to look into reducing that cost. But secondly, and I'm not suggesting anybody do this because technically it's a little unethical and might be a little bit illegal. But if you're like me and you don't have SmackDown, there is an alternative. And I would actually like to thank Billy for reminding me of this. Here's the thing. You can always, and I don't recommend you do this, like I said, they frown on this, especially like Netflix. They don't like it when you go get a VPN and spoof where your internet is coming from so that you can tell them, hey, I'm overseas, so I'm using an overseas Netflix, and that way you can watch SmackDown on Netflix like the other countries do that aren't stuck on their WWE being on, or their SmackDown being on USA.
Mm-hmm.
Just, between you and me, I wouldn't try that. It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. Is it a bad idea?
So real quick though, so you're saying DirecTV Dish people who have ESPN Plus would be able to get the WWE?
No. If you already have cable or satellite and you download this new ESPN app and log in with your credentials, your username and password for your dish or your cable, it's included in the cost of your cable or satellite, apparently.
Normally ESPN 1000% is, but is ESPN Plus?
There might be like a special package.
There's like 50 packages for ESPN. I've explored it. I've seen it. I have it on.
Hulu is one that is, if you have ESPN currently on Hulu, you get ESPN Plus, which you just said, but I haven't heard about this satellite or cable.
Yeah, because that's part of the streaming plus package. I don't know about because we have DirecTV as well. I'll have to look. I really don't know, but like that's extremely smart if that is the case. So DirecTV users in chat and Dish.
Yeah, if you have DirecTV or Dish, let us know if you've tried this in the chat. We love to hear from you.
Which everybody's fucked because everybody's moved over to streaming devices, so they don't have it.
Well, and we've talked about this, man. Cord cutting is on the rise, man. Everybody's trying to dump the dish and cut the cable.
So, and there's one other thing I want to clarify. Everything I'm reading is that it's a new ESPN app. It's not the current ESPN Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So the new ESPN app, which actually launches in 9 days, will be accessible to many cable and satellite subscribers through their existing subscriptions. Existing ESPN Plus subscribers will also be transitioned to the new app.
Okay.
This means that users who already subscribe to ESPN through traditional providers will be able to log into the new app using their existing credentials and access the same content. Cable satellite subscribers, many providers like Charter, DirecTV, and some smaller ones will allow their subscribers to automatically access the new ESPN app. Existing ESPN Plus subscribers will be automatically transitioned to the new app and will have access to the new features and content. For cord cutters, a standalone version of the app will be available for those without traditional cable or satellite, costing $29.99 per month for the unlimited plan, which includes all ESPN channels and content. There's also a bundle option with Disney Plus and Hulu for $29.99 per month for the first 12 months.
God, that is ridiculous, though. Then, why do we have to bounce around? Like Baron was saying, we have to go from, we have to go to Peacock to watch one show, and then we got to go to Netflix, and then we got to go here, and then now we got to go to ESPN Plus. It's stupid. Just move everything to one freaking place. Stop making everybody bounce back and forth because you're going to lose. Everybody's going to lose interest. And I know Nick Khan said, and when they announced this big ESPN deal, that, well, I think people will stick with us because they like the product and all this. But Nick, how out of touch are you, dude?
I don't think Nick Khan has a wrestling bone in his body.
No, I'm not saying a wrestling bone. I'm saying like,
no, I know, but to have knowledge of even the casual wrestling fan base.
Well, yeah, it's that. It's the fact that everybody wants convenience, and that's the beautiful thing about the WWE network is that everybody had it right there. The PLEs were there. All the old stuff was there. All
and new original programming.
Any original programming. The WCW stuff was there. The ECW stuff was there, which is how we watched all of the ECW shows that we did review shows on. Everything was right there at the tips of your fingers, and you could see it all, and it wasn't going to go away because they owned all of that content. Now we have to wait 3 months for SmackDown to come to Peacock. We have to go to Netflix to watch Raw, Monday Night Raw. We have to hope, maybe try to find a VPN to go watch USA if we can't get USA Network for SmackDown, or find a VPN to hack Netflix to tell us, hey, let's go here so we can watch SmackDown to keep up.
I'm totally not recommending this, but for your mobile phone, ExpressVPN and NordVPN are generally considered the top contenders, offering a balance of speed, security, and features.
Yeah.
But once again,
VPN.
I do not suggest you go download ExpressVPN or NordVPN in your phone's store right now and set it up, because that would be unethical of me to recommend that.
And it would be terrible if I said, hey, I pay for Proton VPN, which is a very, very good VPN, by the way. I don't recommend it. But I'm just saying that I pay for a VPN. So,
you know, at one time,
you got to do what you got to do.
We, as a society, got tired of paying high prices to be able to watch our TV and movies and live entertainment, and Pirates Bay was formed.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I may have talked about how it would be unethical of me to recommend VPNs, but right now I'm going to very openly give Pirates Bay a shout out. People did not respect you enough, and you deserved far better than you were given by the people.
Dude,
hold on. Do you know who isn't respected enough? If we're going down this avenue, do you know who's not respected enough? The people who would hack satellite receiver cards.
I was literally getting ready to say that we had that growing up my entire life.
Yes.
My uncle did, and that's how we watch all WWE pay-per-views, is from the card from Canada. Yep. And that's where they came from, was the Canada cards that were hacked and later, like copied and sent out. We had that for years. Mm-hmm. My uncle probably had that up until the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. So he had, we're talking every single pay-per-view, from wrestling to to every movie channel you can imagine. And it was the greatest time going over to watch it. That's how we watched wrestling growing up, other than going to our local, video store to go pick up the VHS, in the early days, which was great. But that was great times. And I've thought about it 100 times in my life. I'm like, I wonder if this is still a thing, because I would fucking do it.
And if you and another thing that we should not recommend, and I'm not even going to say anything more than this. If you don't want to pay for all of these subscriptions here, there, you can always go down an avenue and find it all in one place, and it's very, very cheap. I'm just going to leave it at that. Google it. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let us move on before we get into trouble.
I want to finish my history lesson real quick.
Uh-huh.
So, Pirate Bay deserved better than us. Okay, Netflix comes along,
Pirate Bay.
and we're and we as a society were like, oh my god, this is what we were looking for. This is what we asked for. I'm sorry, Pirate Bay, you're going in the drawer. We're going with Netflix, and now everybody under the damn sun has decided, you know what, I should have a streaming service. Well, you know what, I want Pirate Bay back. Damn it, give me my Pirate Bay back.
Let's move on, please. Let's move on. Clash in Paris just got a big match. WWE's Raw's August 11th episode in Quebec City ended with a booking a hell of a match for the event in Paris. And this week's Raw ended up in a tag match between LA Knight and CM Punk against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Ended in a DQ as Seth Rollins jumped into the match and the heels started to run wild on the baby faces. Jey Uso came out with a chair, even up the odds. But Adam Pearce came out and he addressed Seth Rollins' string of underhanded actions. And he said that he will see it as an opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship. And he will do so in Clash in Paris. So now it will be a fatal four-way between Jey Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins for the heavyweight title. Clash in Paris set to take place Sunday, August 31st in Paris at the La Défense Arena in France. This is going to be a hell of a match. Hell of a match. Now, let's move on to Naomi. That was a big shocker as they announced that on Monday Night Raw that she was not medically cleared to compete, and they pulled her from the women's title match. However, it seems that WWE has kept talent in the dark yet again when it comes to the reason for her getting pulled from the match. Now, according to PW Insider Elite, Naomi was backstage at Monday Night Raw in Quebec earlier in the day, so her match being canceled was not because she missed the taping. The reason for the change is being kept quiet, even from wrestlers. After Naomi was pulled from Raw, Sean Ross Sapp said that he was told that the not being medically cleared situation is legitimate. He explained that the WWE had planned a big world title match for her, making it especially unfortunate that she got hurt. Later during Monday Night Raw, a segment between Sky and Stephanie Vaquer suggested that Naomi could be sidelined for weeks, so her title defense against Vaquer at the upcoming Clash in Paris PLE could be in danger. Still no word on Naomi's injury, the severity of it, or what's next to come. We're going to keep our ears open about this, but it was a noticeable shift in pace. And Baron, what do you think? What do you think happened? Do you have any idea?
I mean, we've seen the backstage incident, right? We've all seen the video of what happened. She was on the scooter and hit the thing. Like, she could be legitimately injured.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, long-term injury, I highly doubt from something like this. But she could be legitimately injured, sprained wrists, whatever the case may be. That's a real possibility. I don't think it's going to be something that she's out for a long time. But, you know, WWE really does like to shake some shit up from time to time, right? So this could all be something they came up with. I just really hope that Stephanie Vaquer don't get fucked over and does not get her title match, right? But I don't think this is like a massive injury. I do know she has some personal stuff coming up too. I remember she was on the podcast with Nikki and the Bella Show thing. And mentioned she was trying to like take time off for personal reasons, right? I don't know if that's still the case or what the case may be. But my guess is she is legitimately injured. I'm not saying like injured badly to where she cannot wrestle for months, but did get injured during that video we all saw.
Max, I know you have some ties with the wrestling world, of course, with Barr being a contributor to the show. Has he heard anything?
We actually haven't talked about it. I did watch the video of the scooter incident, and I don't know. It's possible that there's a real injury, but there's a million reasons why they would put a storyline injury into play. She may have gained some heat with the writers backstage or the powers that be. She may have had a legitimate family emergency that no one's talking about. Because here's the thing. I understand that when you choose to do this world, whether it be wrestling or acting or singing or something like that, you have foregone your right to privacy.
Mhm.
But this is the kind of business where they can help hide certain aspects. So if there is a legit family emergency of some sort, they can cover it up by calling it a storyline injury, and we just haven't heard anything to the contrary. So there's quite a few things that could be going on here. Seeing the scooter incident, it is possible that she got herself injured doing that scooter thing, but this is actually becoming a thing with the WWE, don't you think? Stone Cold crashes his ATV into the barricade, which knocked the fan down. But in all fairness, if you watch the video, she probably fell over out of shock because it wasn't because he hit her if you watch the video.
Yeah.
Dom was in that golf cart, and that golf cart hit a fan. And now Naomi wrecks her scooter. I think it's about time we stop playing with the vehicles or have a professional drive them for the wrestlers.
I totally agree. Finally, we're going to keep an ear on Naomi and see if anything becomes of that. But finally, for WWE news, John Cena's showdown with Brock Lesnar isn't happening at Clash in Paris later this month, but it's still on the table for later this year. While speaking on the August 11th episode of Wrestling Observer Radio during a recap of SmackDown, Uncle Dave explained that WWE is saving the blockbuster Cena versus Lesnar match for the fall, most likely in September or October. Cena has been building a storyline that included an angle with Lesnar. So Meltzer admitted that he was surprised to see WWE pivot toward John Cena versus Logan Paul in Paris instead. Meltzer clarified that the change doesn't mean that the Lesnar bout's off. It's just been pushed back. If WWE's really holding off on Cena versus Lesnar until the fall, that means fans could be in for one of the biggest marquee matches of the year, right as Cena winds down his farewell tour. With only a handful of dates left on his contract, every appearance is becoming must-see TV. It's dropping the Beast Incarnate into the mix, guaranteed to turn up the volume to 11, which makes sense if they're bringing in Brock Lesnar and they put him on the last show that John Cena is ever going to be a part of with the WWE. Who better to bring in than somebody who can actually just absolutely massacre him and send him off, but
don't want it.
I'm
not interested. I don't think that is storytelling. I think that is a cop-out. I think that is pathetic. And I think that him coming back changed the direction Cena was going, and turned face overnight. Really, I think it's a load of shit. And the only pay-per-view in the fall is literally what is in the fall?
So
Survivor Series November.
Yeah, I actually pulled that up for you guys. So Clash in Paris is August 31st. There is a no mercy on the schedule for September, which might be related to that image that I sent you guys before the show. Halloween Havoc is in October, but that's NXT as well. But there is Crown Jewel in Australia on October 11th.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility, but a 6 a.m. fucking show for Brock Lesnar and Cena?
No, I know.
I don't
get up at 6 a.m. to watch that.
Yeah, I just don't see what. I don't know. I don't think that's the great final match. I don't like he showed up in SummerSlam and has not made an appearance since then to kind of get insight where he's at with this, right? Like, was it a cheap pop? What the case may be. There's not enough big PLEs outside of Survivor Series for something like this to happen. Unless we are wanting to go all the way to Mania season for this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Not a fan. You pass the torch over to Cody on SummerSlam. That should have been your final bout, is passing the torch, the belt over to Cody. That's storytelling at its finest. This is a fast pivot, overnight pivot to bring Brock Lesnar back because he got cleared, to mix him in with John Cena. Brock Lesnar is not in John Cena's world when it comes to wrestling. I hate to break the fucking news to the fans. John Cena is top tier GOAT. We're talking one of the biggest wrestlers of all time. I don't know. I just don't understand what they're trying to do with this. Not a fan.
I understand what they're trying to do with this. I understand that they're trying to send Cena off in a way that he can absolutely get massacred, because anytime they bring in Brock Lesnar to go up against someone else, a babyface, and that's why they turned John Cena babyface. But anytime they do this, it is because Brock Lesnar is just that crazy in the ring that he will hurt somebody to the point of retirement. And that's how they're going to pivot this. Since Brock Lesnar is back in, they're going to say, well, Brock Lesnar technically put John Cena into retirement. He was on his retirement tour and he was going to ride off into the sunset. Now he's riding off on a stretcher.
Dog shit storytelling. You do that, you lose credibility of everything you've done for the last how many months John Cena's been back?
Yeah.
You literally lose every single credibility with that happening. It doesn't even, as a diehard wrestling fan, I would be disgusted because it makes zero sense. Now, if there's a middle ground breakdown match between the two of them and Cena continues on, I'm all for it. Final match, that's how his career ends, by beatdown by Brock Lesnar. No.
Let's move on to some AEW news. All Elite Wrestling is bringing a double dose of action where it all began. They're going to return to Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida this fall for a 2-night run with a Dynamite's annual Title Tuesday special on October 7th and a rare Wednesday edition of AEW Collision on October 8th. AEW explained in their official announcement that the company is calling the homecoming, saying, Jacksonville, All Elite Wrestling is coming home for 2 huge nights. Dynamite Title Tuesday on October 7th and a special Wednesday episode of Collision on the 8th. Now, the tradition of Title Tuesday began in 2022 as a workaround for the MLB playoffs, which bumped Dynamite off its usual Wednesday slot on TBS. Daly's Place also has a very special meeting for AEW. It became the company's primary venue during the pandemic when restrictions kept them from touring. AEW is also packing December with more big shows. On Monday, they confirmed Ring of Honor Final Battle is going to take place on December 5th at GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio. The show will stream live worldwide on Honor Club at watchroh.com. The following night, a Collision will emanate from the same convention for the second consecutive year. AEW said in their joint announcement with ROH that with AEW revisiting these 2 major locations, one tied to its roots, the other to ROH history, the company is clearly looking to give fans in both cities something very special to remember. Mix of nostalgia and first-time moments should make these dates stand out on AEW's fall and winter calendar. I'm hoping it'll be good. I think it will be for the company. Now, let's move on to some TNA news, because we've talked about Killer Kross, but the crazy thing with Killer Kross and Ashanti the Adonis is they're similar in one way, and that is because both Killer Kross and Ashanti the Adonis, their contracts ended on the same day, the 10th. So we are also losing a TNA star who could be out for a very long time. But are we going to gain a talent? So Casey Navarro announced that he will undergo ACL surgery and expects to be sidelined from in-ring competition for over a year. It halted his momentum in a very, very big way. He was previously paired up with AJ Francis as a heel duo. Casey Navarro went to X to reveal that he is going into surgery. He's going to be out of action for a while. The caption for his video post was quite revealing, but it also included some hope that he will return soon enough. But with Casey Navarro out, Ashanti the Adonis could be heading to TNA Wrestling next. The former WWE star became a free agent on August 10th, the same day Killer Kross was officially, his contract expired. And word is already spreading that TNA talent want him in the locker room. According to those in WWE via Fightful Select, Ashanti was informed a couple weeks ago before his deal ran out that the company wouldn't be renewing it. And while he'd been working in NXT over the last year, he was still on the main roster contract for WWE. And NXT spoke highly of his dedication, noting that in addition to working at the Performance Center, he was going out and training on his own time as well. So that's good for Ashanti the Adonis, and it's good that the WWE is partnering up with TNA. And, because it gives, when contracts in the WWE expire and they decide, hey, we're not going to go with you, we're not going to re-sign you again, they can jump over to TNA because that still gives them the door to the WWE. But can Killer Kross, do we think that he can possibly go to TNA? Thoughts? We'll start with Baron.
Yeah, I've already mentioned it. I think he 100% will go to TNA. I think that's the most logical place for him to go, right? We've already done the, big premiere show type of ordeal. It just didn't work out. I think he's been in TNA, right? Like, he was in TNA. I think that's how I found out about him. I mean, somebody can back that opinion up. I could be totally wrong, right? I'm the high guy, but I'm pretty positive he was started in TNA, or was one of the first shows that I remember him from. Right. And I even think he was like in Lucha Underground, to be honest with you. Was he? Okay, I think I remember us chatting about him years ago about that. And I want to say, like, I think that's where he fits in. There's only two options for me where I see him doing well: New Japan and TNA. I think those are the two places that would highlight his talent as the big, strong, gritty guy with a very good valet next to him, right? Mm-hmm. I think if he went to AEW, I think he's lost in the mix. I don't think it's going to play out for him very well. Right. TNA, he could elevate that company, especially coming off that stem from WWE to there now, could help elevate that company just a tad bit more. I think he would be a huge star there. He would be champion within a month time. This is where he needs to go.
There's also GCW that's making a pretty big breakout in professional wrestling. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Matt Cardona is on that promotion too. But Max, what do you think? Do you think GCW could be in Killer Kross's sights?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know, because he stated in those interviews that he doesn't really want to go anywhere else. This is where he wants to be.
Right.
But I was doing a little search, and I was trying to get answers to the things that Baron was saying as we went along. And let me start with TNA. 2018 to 2019, he was on Impact as Killer Kross. He actually made his debut posing as a police officer arresting P.D. Williams for the suspected Mystery X attacker who'd been laying out talent and personnel backstage for weeks. Once in a secluded area backstage, however, Kross attacked and choked a handcuffed Williams, revealing himself as the actual attacker. Before that, though, he was in Lucha Underground, 2015, 2018. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it on camera, but I was having some reactions, and I'm going to tell you why. Kross made his debut for the promotion in December of 2015. Now, in July of 2018, he returned to Lucha Underground with a new character. This is why I had my reaction. That character was called the White Rabbit. Now, if you remember, when Bray Wyatt was going to be returning, they had a Follow the White Rabbit bit. They gave us Jefferson Airplane song White Rabbit during commercial breaks on SmackDown. They gave us all these clues, and it was always the Follow the White Rabbit. So there was speculation at the time that it could be 3 people the WWE was pushing. Now, we talked about it here on the show during that, and we all had the same, it was Bray Wyatt. It was Bray coming back. Mm-hmm. However, the other 2 speculated names that were brought up were Killer Kross, because he did portray a character named the White Rabbit in Lucha Underground, and a guy that's part of the Wyatts right now, Joe Gacy. So, thank you, Baron, for sending me on down a rabbit hole, pun intended, that led to some really cool information that I did not know before tonight.
And I'm interested in what Mir said, because we've been talking about possibly Killer Kross going to TNA, but apparently Kross hates TNA for what they did to him in Scarlet. Now, I don't know what that is all about. I'm trying to get confirmation.
That's from like the 2018 period. It was just like a contract issue, right? Mir, please let us know. But like, that's a totally different company at this point, right?
I think
different owner, like different management.
Yeah, different management, different everything. I think it's a different atmosphere over in TNA now.
So here I found this. This is sounds like it's from 2019. Mm-hmm. On May 13th, it was reported that Kross asked for his release from Impact Wrestling following contract renegotiations. His issues stem from problems with his creative direction, as well as his current pay per appearance deal. He was not released at the time. At Slammiversary 17 on July 7th, Kross lost a first blood match to Eddie Edwards, where he reportedly refused to do a blade job and they used fake blood instead. The reports indicated there was concern over lack of blood testing and the absence of an on-site doctor. Following that match, he was not booked to appear at July, August, or September television tapings, and the 2 sides continued to negotiate. It was reported that his contract was set to expire in December, but the company had the option to roll it out over for another year. In December, they released him from his contract. So I would say all that added up probably affected his standing, his feelings towards them.
And if it was 2019, then that was Scott D'Amore that was still overseeing all that with TNA, but because they were acquired by Anthem and rebranded in I believe it was 2017. So that would make sense that Scott D'Amore was still involved with TNA. And
regardless where he goes, he's gonna come off a pretty hot run from WWE, and it's going to be a big star. If I was putting money on it, TNA has to be it.
But then again, it's like, dude, is it a work? Is this all a work? Do they want us just talking about the brand? Do they want us just...
Let me be honest with you. I think part of the reason that we're all considering that this might be a work is because we saw that promo that they cut after WrestleMania. And the feeling that we all got from it, we felt the work in it, but it was a shoot. Now, that being allowed, even though that was abnormal, means that there is a possibility that all of this is just tying back to that, and it's all part of the same story that they've been telling this whole time. We don't know. I don't want to speculate too much. I am going to hold out hope that that's what it is. But at the end of the day, we can only go off what we know, because I won't listen to speculation from Uncle Dave or the other guy, Sean or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Not this Sean. I like this Sean.
This Sean's better than the other Sean.
and listen, I want to give you guys some positive real quick, because, you know, we've talked a lot about our women's champion is some kind of mystery injury. Killer Kross and Scarlett are apparently gone from WWE at the moment. I want to give you guys some positive real quick. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago, Vince Russo publicly stated his intention to stop reacting to WWE programming on his 65th birthday. Now, for those of you that do not know, Vince Russo was born January 24th, 1961. And for those of you that are AEW fans and not really good at the math, that means that Vince Russo is currently 64 years old. That means this is August, September, October, November, December, January. We only have to listen to his hot takes for another 5 months. Vince, I hope your birthday is a happy one, and we never hear from you about Raw again.
And with that being said, I think that's going to wrap it up for the show tonight. It's been fun. We're going to keep an eye on everything that we've talked about today. We're going to keep an eye on it. And if anything happens, we will definitely let you know. But this has been a fun show. This is the first time that we've streamed live on X as well as twitch.tv and here on YouTube/Ramblers Unleashed. So thank you again for coming on here tonight and hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. We'll do it again next Tuesday. And by the way, Baron, how can they follow you on socials?
You guys know it. Scumbag Jordan with 3 ends.
Max Magius.
You can find this account at Max Magius. You can find my other nerd pod. Hang on, I'm in the middle of giving my socials. How am I supposed to hang on? You can find my nerd podcast over at Our Shots Podcast. You can hear that. You can listen to that anywhere you get your podcast, or go to random-shots.net and let Sean check your Twitter direct messages. And as always, please send your complaints to Deactive8Styles. And I'm telling you, please go send him some complaints. This man is in my Steam Messenger. He's in my Facebook Messenger every week going, Max, why am I not seeing any complaints? I tell them every week, Styles, I promise.
And
Courtney, love you too.
Our friend CM Styles is he just underwent some surgery to fix some carpal tunnel issues that he had. He's got 3 to 6 months of recovery. So speedy recovery to you, CM Styles, and hopefully you get over that, man, because that is
much love, CM.
Much
love, brother.
Much love to you, brother. And you can follow the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Ramblers Unleashed. You can find us on X at The Ramblers Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed. Hit the bell icon, hit the like button on our videos. That will tell YouTube that you like what we're doing and recommends our videos to more people. And we hope you come back here again next Tuesday, and we will talk some more professional wrestling. In the meantime, love professional wrestling, no matter what it is, whatever promotion. And we'll be here on Tuesday to talk about it again.
And I want you guys to know, I haven't even told Baron this yet. I am working on talking Dizzy into a new way for you guys to interact with us guys. I don't have all the details in place due to the fact that while he seems interested, he still has not decided that we can pull the trigger, but I'm working on it, and hopefully soon I'll have that announcement for you.
We will have that announcement for you. Hopefully soon.
Baron doesn't even know.
I know. We're the WWE around here, keeping everybody in the dark.
Keeping me in the dark.
This right here is why I didn't pass the information to Baron yet. I wanted to see this reaction right here when I mentioned it.
Well, we will be back again next Tuesday to talk more professional wrestling news. In the meantime, follow us on our socials. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Ramblers Unleashed. And next Tuesday, we'll come back here and talk to you. See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.
Don't forget to